Good morning. It is Wednesday, July the 27th. I'm on time. Yay. Wow, that's a new feeling. So I'm going to jump right in because I have a lot I want to talk about today. So, solar chakra. Today is a solar chakra conversation. The solar chakra is right above your belly button, where your solar plexus lies. And the solar chakra's color is yellow. According to this little chart, and I had somebody ask me last week about finding this chart. And the creator of this chart is a person named C. Green, and you can find them at cgreen.us. I don't know if you can actually buy their chart there, but I did find that if you Google chakra charts, you will find this chart in Google Images as well. But I just wanted to say, as I did on my comments last week, that I'm not comfortable with just scanning this and linking this chart in because it does have a copyright, and that's somebody's work. So solar chakra. According to C. Green, the properties of the solar chakra are to give us a sense of our personal power in the world, deals with anger and sense of victimization, can cause blockages. You can work with cassia, which is a type of cinnamon or peppermint for your essential oils or herbs. And good stones, according to C. Green, are citrine, amber, and golden topaz. What I like to use with the solar chakra is I like to use citrine. I will sometimes use an orange or yellow calcite. But I most especially like to use sunstone because this is the solar chakra. There's a little shimmer in there. The solar chakra is kind of the battery of the entire energy system. So if you were to imagine that your entire energy system, your aura as it were, made an infinity symbol, okay? Infinity symbol. Okay, so let's say right up here, this is your crown, this is your root. This right here in the center would be your solar chakra. So your solar chakra is a battery for all of your chakras, for the energy battery. So all of your chakras at some point in that circuit have to come through and hit that solar. So the solar is very important. If you don't keep the solar's energy running high, then it can actually affect the energy of all the rest of your chakras, therefore throwing all of you into kittywampus. Nobody wants kittywampus. So you support the solar chakra by getting sunshine, by getting enough vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, bringing all of that into your life a little bit more. I tell people to eat a lot of citrus fruit, spend a little bit of time outside enjoying the sunshine reasonably. Do not burn, do not try and tan, all that good jazz, you know how that works. But to support the solar chakra that way. To bring more yellow into your life, to bring more light into your life, and that all helps. I have 120, what was I at last week, 122? I think I was at 122 last week. Where was I last week? What am I doing, people? Oh my god, I can't think. 122 last week, so I'm at 126 this week for community service hours. So that brings me to charity. So I want to talk about a couple of things real quick. Next week is a pagan and pantheistic and polytheistic holiday known as Lammas. And Lammas is the first of the first of the harvest holidays. We have 3 harvest holidays. Did I just screw that one up? Please excuse the bad pagan while she makes sure that she's not passing on bad information. I usually just recognize them as Fall Holiday 1, Fall Holiday 2, and Fall Holiday 3. I am correct. It is Lammas. Good pagan. I get a pat on the back. Yay, Tina. So anyway, so Lammas is coming up next week, and it's typically around the 1st of August. It's the first of the 3 harvest holidays. So this is the beginning of the time when we start honoring the god and the goddess for the foods that we are able to bring in. It's also a time when we symbolically honor the gifts that we have been given in the rest of our life, too. So here's what I want to do for my charity. I'm not going to give you a specific charity. I'm going to give you a task. I would like for you to go to the website feedingamerica.org. Feedingamerica.org is kind of the overseeing website for like all the different major food pantries in the United States. Here's a few things I want to throw at you quick. I'm looking directly at their page. They have a page, a drop down in theirs that talks about their hunger and poverty fact sheet. Okay, so these statistics are based off of 2014. Okay, 2 years ago. According to their poverty statistics in the United States in 2014, 46.7 million people, which is 14.8% of our United States, were in poverty. So if you think of 100 people you know, roughly 14.8 of them would be in poverty. 15.5 million, or 21%, of children were under the age of 18 were in poverty. 4.6 million, or 10% of seniors 65 and older, were in poverty. That is 10% of our retired people. 10% of our grandmothers and grandfathers are in poverty. These are not good numbers. These are not great numbers. I mean, we think about 14 and 21 and 10%, and in the grand scheme of many things, that doesn't seem like a very big number until you break it down and you figure 10% means that 1 out of every 10 grandparents is in poverty. 1 out of every 10 grandparents is not only in poverty, but they're not capable of getting jobs for a variety of reasons. They may be unable to get a job. They may be, health-wise, they may be unable to work. It's extremely difficult to get a job when you're a senior citizen because nobody wants to pay a senior citizen the kind of wages that they deserve. People also don't have a lot of faith in senior citizens showing up for work on a regular basis because there is such a bias that makes many people believe that if you are over the age of 65, you are automatically infirm whether you look it or not. So it's very difficult for senior citizens to get hired. So, kind of keep that in mind. So then the next little chunk they have down there is called the very low food insecurity and food insecurity in the U.S. Now this means people who may not know where their food is going to be coming from for their next meal, or maybe they know they have enough food for a few meals, but they're not sure where next week's meals are going to come from. So within this category, again in 2014, 48.1 million Americans lived in food insecure households, including 32.8 million adults and 15.3 million children. Millions, people, millions. This is a lot of people. That means 14% of households were food insecure. Again, 14 doesn't seem like a big number until you think about how many that is. Okay? 6% of households experienced very low food security. So, and then in 2013, 5.4 million seniors over the age of 60, or 9% of all seniors, were food insecure. So this is, again, 9% of our senior population. And this is over the age of 60, not 65, 60, so even younger. Okay? So what does all of this mean for us? Okay, so when I grew up, my home state is in the top 15, 14. It's a new one for me. So when I grew up in the Baptist church, and the thing that was always touted in the church, and I'm not saying this to be sarcastic, it's touted in most Christian churches, is to love your neighbor as you would love yourself, and to take care of your neighbors as you would take care of yourself. Because this is what Jesus commanded, right? Okay. Well, then I became an atheist for a period of time, and then I became a pagan, to make a very, very long story short. So as a pagan, what I was taught was, first of all acts of love and pleasure are the rituals of the goddess, which means that anything that you do that brings you or another person joy is an act of the goddess, okay? The act of mother. This is you working mother's work through your hands. By sharing with your neighbor, you are sharing the work of Jesus through your hands. So I'm going to give you a religious bend on this one, okay? It doesn't matter what your faith is. And this goes for all Judeo-Christian faiths. This goes for all Abrahamic faiths. I don't believe there is anything in Judaism, Christianity, or Muslim or Islam that says that you do not take care of your neighbor. This goes for all pagans, okay? This goes for all humanists. If you claim that all humans are equal, help them be so. This goes for all atheists because honestly, if you can't take care of the person next to you, you cannot expect to ever receive help when you're in a time of need. Okay? So this goes for all people. I want you to spend the next 3 months, so this harvest season, through the month of August, September, and October, those 3 months, I want you to find food pantries in your area, and I want you to find soup kitchens in your area. I've already challenged you to put in at least 50 hours of the year in community service. I want to challenge you to put 20 hours in the next 3 months into either working in a food pantry, serving food in a soup kitchen, or cooking food for a soup kitchen. Or I want you and your family to collect up between 25 and 50 pounds worth of food to donate to a local food pantry. Okay? If you cannot do these things, open your checkbook and help them out, because every little bit helps. I remember at one time I was working for the Second Harvest Food Bank as a volunteer. I was working on the phone, so I was receiving phone calls, and I would receive heartbreaking phone calls from people. And what was more heartbreaking was when I would find that I couldn't help these people. I couldn't help these people because of red tape and regulations. But one of the things that I learned is it only takes a couple of bucks to feed a meal to a family. A couple of bucks. Now, if we think about a couple of bucks, on Mondays I go into Madison and I've got time to kill, and I go to a local coffee shop and I probably drop between $5 and $7 on coffee and a snack. That $5 to $7 donated to a food pantry can feed an entire family of 4 one meal. It can. And not just cereal for breakfast. It can feed them a meal. Okay? It's not going to be steak and potatoes, but it's going to be full meals. It's going to be vegetables, grains, meat, dairy. Okay? $5 to $7. That's all it takes. So I want each of you guys to go and do your very best to provide services to food pantries and to soup kitchens, because those folks need it as well. Soup kitchens in particular have a hard time getting volunteers to come in and cook and serve, particularly in mornings, so look around you. Usually you can Google like charities, food pantries, soup kitchens. You can usually Google these things and they'll bring you something up in your area. Feedingamerica.org for sure will allow you to find different food pantries in the area based on state and zip code. So I'll have that link down below, and that's my challenge to you guys, okay? For the next 3 months, this is something I want you to work on. If you do something and you feel especially good about what you've done, I know typically it's not in our nature to crow about the wonderful, wonderful things that we do, but if you've done something that you feel pretty amazing about, I want to hear about it. Send me a comment and say something about it. So all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. We're about to come out of this heat, this big blast of heat today. I think is supposed to be like our last day of really nasty stickiness and such. So I'm looking forward to that. Yay! So I hope all of you are doing well, and I will catch up with you again next week. Bye!